Hello, rapid sale buyers. Welcome to the James Hogg Estate. Here is a car, 1973, and it's a one-owner car that this gentleman has owned from day one. Purchased from Watson Motors in Stayner, Ontario. Sold by Ron McDermott, who was a salesman at Watson Motors, and then over time purchased the business and ran it for many years as a GM dealer out of Stayner, Ontario. So here it is, folks. You have yourselves a 350 engine under the hood of a Chevy Cheval Laguna. Isn't she a beauty? Yes, it's not a perfect car, but it is one owner. It runs and starts extremely well. It's been always stored indoors, just off of the main streets, downtown Toronto, not too far from the old Maple Leaf Gardens. This gentleman worked for Ontario Hydro for many years, and the car never drove daily to work. It was stored, and he always took the subway system to work. But here's a beauty. It's got the original Chev hubcaps to it. Does have the typical paint blistering for that year. But overall, it starts and runs well. You can tell it hasn't been sitting in the sun a lot because the dashboard isn't all checkered like they used to be back in the 73s and 74s. The typical seats in the back. The driver's seat has just the one tear in it, but again, who's buying this car is buying it for the originality. And again, the old aluminum trim on those all have the usual. But listen to this thing start. Try not to block the view. So it's a 5-digit odometer. Starts and runs extremely well. Got the dashboard clock to it. You hear it running well. No lights on it. It's been freshly serviced. Always been maintained by the same mechanic from day one. Up in Collingwood area, even though it lived in Toronto. Virtually no rust underneath it. 350 running along just nicely. He did install daylight running headlights on it for safety reasons, which is a nice thing. Solid steel. Good rubber on it. One little scuffy there, looks like senior citizen kiss. It's got put a new fuel tank on it. Tailpipe on it there. It's always been oiled. Let's take her for a quick spin down the road. Very peppy. There she goes. Brother picked the car up from Toronto, drove it all the way home to Collingwood, had it serviced, and drove it back to Guelph. Rides just like a 1973 would. We had the identical type of car in the Chev line, but it was a Chev 4-door Bel Air, the big green bomb. That's how I got my driver's license. Drives exactly the way it should. 50 miles an hour, no trouble at all. Good brakes on it. Listen to that signal click. We'll just turn it around here. Man, very impressive how it drives. Pop in reverse, the tranny is nice and solid. Stop it, drop it into drive. Very tight, smooth. Shifting well. Wow. What a story. One owner car, purchased it new from Watson Motors in Stayner, Ontario. Drove it all these years whenever he needed to go visit the family. A real nice story for somebody. So it does ride well. No lights on the dash anywhere. Running really well. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're a Chev fan, like the Chevals, here's an opportunity for you. 2 sets of keys with it. Solid, tight hinges on it. Let me just give it a lift here. Those hinges are tight. There's no play in them at all. So the odometer's showing 55,000 on it for miles. Could have gone around once. We don't know for sure, but it's never driven daily. Only when he needed to go away on the weekend to visit family or whatever. So it could be 55,000 miles on it, or it could be 155. Nobody knows. He was a bachelor and nobody is sure. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you are wanting a specialty car, you might want to drive it the way it is, or you might want to restore it. It's totally up to you. But there is a Chev Laguna. It is a beauty for somebody. We don't see a lot of these ones around anywhere. So here's an opportunity for somebody to have a nice little project car or a nice little runner. They figure it takes nothing for safety. There is a crack in the windshield, but it's not in the path of the wiper. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, take your opportunity. Enjoy this extensive estate auction. Here's your opportunity. Bid, buy, and win a Chevrolet.